Good morning. Good morning. Hey there, and happy holidays. And once again, happy Friday. I love doing these videos on Friday. So much fun. Um, we're having, I don't know what the weather is like where you are, but we're having a snow and ice event in Oregon, which is very rare on the west side of the Cascades. So it's pretty exciting that everybody's off school today. And you know what? I actually forgot to plug in my earbuds. So I'm going to do that real quick while we're chatting and getting warmed up. On. So today's video, I was actually talking with Hayden about what I should talk about this week in the live video when Shane posted a great question. And he said, what is it we're supposed to be emailing our customers every 2 weeks or once or twice a month? Because, you know, I teach relationship-based online marketing as the best, by far the absolute best way to build a sustainable, profitable farm. You won't get there unless you embrace these techniques in today's world. And I have so many trainings that, free trainings and things that, oh, thank you, Hayden, that teach you this and explain why and how people learn and all that. So you have to embrace these techniques. And I keep telling you that and encouraging you, and we offer so many free things. So thanks for tuning in and just continuing to study and learn. And I'm thinking maybe, only about 10% of the people actually apply the things I teach and talk about. And I hope you will become one of those, because you are the ones who are going to be successful and going to be around in 2 years. Because remember, most farmers go out of business within the first year or two. Don't be one of those. So you have to change something on your farm in order to stay in business. And one of those things is embracing online marketing using relationship-based marketing techniques. And we teach those. You already do them naturally. So it's just embracing what you already do naturally. All right. So when Shane asked his question on in the Facebook group, he said, what do you guys recommend I email? People were saying things like, oh, I talked to them, I email them about putting lights on our chickens. And I get farmers' emails all the time, and they're things that the farmer wants to talk to me about. The nutritional benefits of grass-fed beef or something like that. But I'm telling you, it's far easier, and you must come from a mindset of letting your customers do the work for you by you emailing them what they want to know. So when you email your customers something and you just choose a random topic that maybe someone suggested, it's as if you're throwing something out into the universe, a ball or something, and you're hoping someone shows up to catch it and connect with it. And that's no way to build a profitable business. That'll never work. So you have to do a few things. First of all, you have to know exactly who you're writing to. You must have an idea of who your one person is that you're writing your emails to. Even if you have 50 people on your email list, or 200 or 2,000 people, you need in mind one specific person that you are writing to, and you need to know their likes and dislikes and how they shop and what they use your products for. And you keep a description of that person next to your computer, and you can update it over time, but that is who you are writing to. So the first thing is you need to know who you're writing to. And I have a blog post on this. Also, that's the very premise of the foundational marketing course I teach. We spend a lot of time on that at first. Who is that one person you're marketing to? Then, when you know that one person you're marketing to, the next step is to know, what do they want to hear from you? Chances are they don't want to hear how you go out of your way to feed your chickens a special blend of GMO-free feed and the makeup of that feed and what each individual ingredient does for the chickens. They don't want to know that. How do I know this? Because I work with hundreds of farmers across the U.S., and I have thousands of customers too, and they are not asking me that. So the best way to then know what your customers want to hear from you is you have to listen to them. So instead of writing a generic email from your point of view, throwing it out to the universe, hoping someone connects with it and maybe will shop at your farm. You are listening. You have to have an idea of what they want to know. So what I'd like to know is, how do you connect with your customers? Do they come to your farm store like they do us? Do they come out to you in person? Do they meet you at a farmer's market? Do they meet you at a drop? Do they email you online? So think about that first. How are your customers talking and communicating with you? Because I assume everyone in this group is direct to farm direct to consumer. How are you connecting with those consumers? That's the first thing. So the second thing is, what are they asking you? The first time they come to see you, what are they asking you? And those are the things you want to write about. So when people walk in my farm store, they don't say, what are the ingredients in your chicken feed? They say things like, oh, I'm so glad to find you. I've been looking for a healthy source of eggs for my kids. Are they fresh? Can you leave them out on the counter? Those are the things my customers are asking me, my first-time customers, and those are the people you want to talk to. If you want to talk farming and how you raise your chickens and all that, talk to us farmers about that, but your customers don't care about that. They're probably asking you, oh, are these eggs GMO free? And, fill in the blank with any of the products, whatever product it is you raise. Is this meat GMO free? That's what they want to know. And that's a yes or no question. They don't want a 5-page email going into the research on GMO free. And trust me, I see these emails coming from farmers using them as marketing tools. That doesn't work. What else do your customers ask when they come in when they first meet you? We sell lard in our farm store made from our pastured pigs. And so customers, when they're first coming in, they say, well, won't that make you fat? Or won't that give me high cholesterol? Or, well, I'd like to buy some, but I don't know how to use it. So I just sent out an email today, and it's a very friendly email. It's from me, and it talks about how I used to have a cupboard full of canola oil, and I cook with olive oil and butter and all that. And then I find out when you cook, well, the canola oils and all those are rancid anyway, but when you cook with olive oil and butter, you have free radicals. And the best cooking oil is lard. And I sent out this email with 3 ways to use lard in your kitchen: scrambling eggs, put it all over a chicken and then your herbs and then roast it, and saute vegetables. And you might think to yourself, because you're a farmer and you raise food, you might be thinking, scrambled eggs, why would I send my customers an email about how to scramble eggs in lard? That's too basic. Well, it's not. If they don't know how to use your products, they aren't going to buy them. So what are those questions they are asking you? That is what you write about, not what you think they ought to know. And that's what I see so many farmers' emails come from, a place of, here's what I think my customers should know. I think they should know how I move my cows once a day to fresh grass. So I'm going to explain all that in an email. Well, my customers don't care about that. They don't ask about that. They're very busy mothers. They're working and they have children, and they want some raw milk for grass-fed cows. That's all they care to know about. And when they have leftover raw milk, they want to know if it's safe to drink. So I'm going to send out an email on how raw milk is safe to drink and to what point, and what you do with it when it does sour a little bit. So the questions your customers are asking you are far simpler than you think. As a farmer, we get caught up in thinking they want to know, what makes us special is our fabulous farming techniques. Well, that's not true. And I'm not trying to repeat myself, but I'm trying to say this in several different ways so that you go deeper with me, because most farmers are missing the point. The only emails from farmers I get that actually come from their customers, the things they want to know, are graduates from our course. So when you do this, you are going to be so different. And so remember our video last week about how different is better. Better is not better, but different is better. You're going to be so different than any other farmer that your business will grow steadily, rapidly, and you will be profitable. So what happens when you start emailing the things you want your customers to know is they will slowly not open your emails and they will delete them because you're sending out things that are boring to them. And then you have no way to get your message across from them or to market your products to them. So you are, they're going to be blind to your emails. As soon as they come in their inbox, they're going to delete them, and you will see that. Someone else suggested coupons. Now, coupons is not a way to build a sustainable, profitable farm because remember that ideal customer I told you about at the beginning of the video, that person you're writing your emails to? If you're investing time building up a customer base of people who are going to buy from you when you have coupons, then when you realize that you cannot discount your products anymore and be profitable, so you have to not discount them anymore, you're going to lose that whole customer base that you've trained and you've built on using coupons. So that is not a way to build a sustainable, profitable farm. It may work temporarily. It's a very quick fix, but using coupons is a way to avoid doing the deep work that I teach. If you don't do the deep work that I teach here, and there's so many things in here that are free, you will not end up with a sustainable, profitable farm. And that's the only thing I keep saying that because if you don't make money, eventually it's too expensive of a business to just have as a hobby. So then you won't be around, a couple years from now. So let me check my notes because I made some notes this morning to make sure. So make sure you know who you're talking to, answer their questions that they are asking you. And I wanted to use an analogy here too, so that if this helps. So at Christmas time, when I have 5 girlfriends I'm buying gifts for, and I like, what do I like? I like jewelry and historical fiction. So if I go out and I buy my 5 girlfriends maybe a piece of jewelry or a historical fiction book with no thought to my 5 girlfriends and what they like, when they get those gifts, they're going to say, "Oh, thank you, that's so wonderful for thinking of me." And then they're never going to read the book, or they're going to re-gift it, and the jewelry is not going to be their taste anyway, because I wasn't thinking of them, I was only thinking of me. And that's what it's like when you send out emails from your perspective. Now, if I knew that this girlfriend likes scented candles, and this girlfriend would like a new journal, and this girlfriend would like some warm gloves, and I buy the gifts for my girlfriends with each girlfriend in mind and her taste, and I send that to her, she's going to open that. She's going to feel so special. Like, oh my gosh, you thought of me. You went out of your way to get me what I didn't even know that you knew that I loved this particular scented candle. And how did I know that? Well, I listened to her. I listened to her over time. I observed her actions. I saw what she liked on Facebook. I knew what her taste was, and then I went and got her exactly what she wanted, regardless of what I wanted. Okay? So that's how I'm telling you to think of your customers. And our customers, even though we have hundreds of customers through our farm store each month, they are asking the hundreds of different people, but they are asking the same, there's probably a dozen questions that we can list off that many of them are asking, so that when I send out that email answering that one person's question, all of the other customers, my ideal customer, because remember I have already identified who I'm talking to, will think, wow, how did she read my mind? So my email went to 1,300 people today. And I know that when I get off the video here, I'm going to have emails from people saying, wow, thank you for this. I was wondering how to use this lard. Now I know. I'm going to have people that think I read their mind. I didn't read their mind. I just listened to them. And that's what so many farmers are missing, is listen to what your customers are asking. And then those are the emails you write about. And if you want to talk about your really exciting farming techniques, come to this group and talk to us, talk to other farmers about them. But your customers, you're going to bore them if you do that, and they're going to go away. And then you're not going to be able to sell to them because you haven't built a relationship with them. Okay, so that's it. I know I just did a lot of talking in 15 minutes. If anyone has any questions, let me know right now. Otherwise, I'm going to keep this short because I'm trying to keep these videos shorter. It will be in here at the recording. You can go back and listen to it. Remember, this is really deep stuff. This is at a higher level. And the people who get this, and you can learn it, but it takes, you might want to listen to this video 2 or 3 times and make some notes and then start doing these things. I think Hayden posted some blog post links in there. So make sure you look those up, and we'll teach our course again in February, and that goes even deeper into it. All right, so Ann Petricola, who's new, trying to figure out who my ideal customer is. There a good way to figure out who to target? Currently torn between chefs and, yeah, and Hayden can, because I can never see the whole question on here. Let me see if I can get your whole question up on my computer. So Anne, Hayden will put up a link to one of the blog posts where I talk about identifying who your ideal customer is. And so that will help you. And then chefs or moms. Oh, okay. Well, chefs or moms are 2 different groups and very different. Chefs, I assume, want wholesale. And if you're wholesale, that's difficult. And what is it you're raising, Anne? I can't remember. I remember we talked last week, but I can't remember what you're raising on your farm. So what is it you're trying to sell? And when you talk to people and you tell people you're starting your farm, what are they asking you? What are they saying? What's the first thing out of your mouth? And who are you talking to? Are you talking to chefs or are you talking to moms? So Anne, if you could tell me what it is you're raising, that would help a little bit. And also, the other thing to remember is you can update your ideal customer. So if you target moms of a certain age, and then you realize that's changing, update it. When I first started identifying my ideal customer, I updated that description once a month. Then it was every 6 months. And now I look at my ideal customer and I update her every year because I've been in business 7 years. The longer you farm, your customers are going to evolve with you and be educated, and they might change a little bit. So, Anne, you are selling gourmet salad greens and edible flowers. You've done some research that there is a market for these things, I assume. So in your research, who have you been talking to about doing this? Pre-washed greens. They sound great. So remember, they're going to have to be cheap enough. If you're selling wholesale, they're going to have to be cheaper than to moms. I would focus on one, though. Some people might say, well, sell to both, chefs and moms. You need to start by focusing on one. I would say it's typically better. You're going to build better relationships with not chefs, because my experience with restaurants is they're so flaky. They don't pay you. If they get fired, then all of a sudden you've got a new chef who does not like edible flowers and won't use you, and you've lost your whole customer. So unless you're really big and you're small and you're brand new, you need to start with a customer base that will buy those things regularly and is not going to get fired. So, we go into this far deeper in the course. So, hours and hours on things like this. So just very quickly, though, the things I would say here are, I've got another blog post. Hayden can look for that too and post it here on, can't remember. Well, anyway, I'm getting lost now because I see more questions coming up. So we'll post more. And Lori says there are more moms than there are chefs. I just have found restaurants to be not a good way to make a profitable farm. And since you're starting out very small, then you want a small clientele that is a more gourmet, high-end. You're selling a sort of elite product, prestigious. There aren't very many people doing those things, so your customer base is going to be a little smaller. And just some business advice: start out with your fancy greens, but have some more basic things too to get moms whose kids just want some lettuce. So do a variety. All right. So Ashley said, I offer mainly farm-related services for kids, classes, lessons, and camps. What would be a few things I can include in my emails for this type of customers? Moms looking for fun educational options for their kids. So Ashley, same thing. When moms hear about your camp, what is it they ask you? What are those questions they ask you? That's what you're going to write about. And I did a whole video on events probably a couple months ago. So that's in there. You might want to listen to that. You're welcome, Anne. So Ashley, I would love to know, I just have the, if you wanted to put it in here, when those moms find out you do lessons and camps, what are the things they're asking you? And those will help you figure out what to write about. Because if you just write about marketing and selling your lessons and camps, they're going to get ad blindness again. So you've got to engage them, and the best way to engage them is talk about the things they want to hear about. And you know what they want to hear about because those are the questions they're asking you. Or find out, you can go on Facebook to a page, some other page that's doing camps and classes, and see what people are putting in the comments section. We live in a great day now. This world of Facebook allows you to do a lot of this research without actually having to leave your home. So you find out what are they asking other people about their camps, and you will be the only one who writes your emails that are geared towards engaging the mothers and telling them the things they actually want to hear, because most people don't do that very well. So give that a try, Ashley. Do some research on Facebook pages that are also marketing camps. See what people are asking and build some emails around those. Okay, anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise, I think I've seen them all. How can we get our own Hayden? I know, I had to give birth to her. I still pay her. She gets a lot of perks, but Hayden is awesome. She's 23 and learning how to run her own business and hopefully learning to take over the farm. But it's nice to have my daughter in the office and working side by side with me, because we have a lot of intuitive things. We just know how each other works and thinks. And so when we brainstorm, we fire off. We can just brainstorm whole courses or whole classes or whole new ways for the farm to go in 30 minutes, just firing things off because we're related and we're a lot alike. We have that intuitive. So it's really nice having that. And then, yeah, you got to raise your own Hayden. I guess that's the answer there. All right. Thanks, everyone, for being here. I'm going to take next Friday off because it's the Friday before Christmas and we're going to be out of job. I read her comment. We're going to be out of town. Hayden's going to be out of town. Everyone's going to be gone for Christmas. So I'm going to be back here in 2 weeks, but we're going to have all kinds of cool posts up here while we're gone, including we'll repost the Joel Salatin video, which is very popular. And it's a good time to listen to it again and start planning your marketing for 2017. We're going to come out in January with some great posts, lessons, things that we can teach you, and then talk about our course that starts again in February. And I guess that's it. So thank you, Anne. Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to everybody. And I'll talk to you 2 weeks from today. We are going to do a video right before New Year's. So I'll talk to you then. And thank you, everyone. Love you all. And we'll see you in the group still, too.